Welcome back to MLG. We're here with Major against Tyler. Look, Tyler, to be frank, I'm not seeing a lot of results from this guy. The first game he wins because Major defeated himself. The second game he loses because a very poorly planned an attack. These Protoss players have to be careful with their force fields.
They certainly
It
do.
is not like if you have a bunch of Psy Storm, you can just spam it out. If you have a bad force field, you're not going to be able to attack your opponent.
Yeah.
So I like the guy. I want him to win because he's a buddy of mine. I like, Major too, but let's see if Tyler can pull through with this. Otherwise, Major, I think, will come out with a win. We're going to see. Let's go ahead and start the game.
All right,
Head
let's do
here.
it.
Major against Tyler. I love both these guys. It's so exciting to see them play out here.
It's going to be
MLG.
Yeah, that's quite true. It's so nice to have all the best players in the world
Yeah.
showing up, or most of them at least. This is going to be MLG, the Shattered Temple. A good map. I'm actually kind of surprised that Tyler chose this map.
Yeah, it's a bit curious.
Yeah, just as a Protoss player with a somewhat similar style to him, it's not my favorite map. I feel like it's a map where drop harassment can be really, really strong, and that's Major's strong point. So,
Both these guys, what were you going to say? I'm sorry. I ran over you. No, Tyler's over here. Major's over here. Bada bada bing, bada boom.
No, getting that out of the way.
In the left. Well, when did Major change his name from Go-See to Major?
Oh, he changes his name about 10 times a day.
Yeah, I was going to say, this guy, he should be much more well-known, but he's just in a constant state of ID change.
Yeah, I've talked to him about that. It doesn't help. In StarCraft 2, luckily for my relationship with Major, they only allow like one name change.
That's good.
Yeah. In StarCraft 1, you could do as many as you wanted, so literally every other day he'd be messaging me on a new account telling me to friend add. It's like, oh my god.
So funny.
Please stop.
But really, Major, a very talented player, always changing his ID, so it's hard to track this guy, but both our Joseph and myself, StarCraft 1 professional gamers and StarCraft 2 professional gamers, we've seen this guy play, we've trained against him, he's very good, definitely a formidable opponent. Liquid Tyler over here, formerly known as Noni, he's a very scary player.
Yeah.
Everybody respects this guy around the world.
Yeah, that's very true.
You're in Europe, North America, the Korean scene, the Chinese scene, doesn't matter.
And here's the thing, I don't think he's won a tournament yet. He's had some really nice results from time to time, and sometimes he actually has bombed out of tournaments earlier than you would expect.
Right.
But everyone does respect him. Everyone's like, yeah, no, Tyler's really great. He's a very good player. He's super, super smart.
Major continuing to scout.
Yeah, and, Major, kind of an interesting build from him so far, Taste. If we take a look in his main base, he has not walled in and no gas. So it looks like he is going to do his standard, one barracks expansion, but normally you would do all in with it just to be safe. Kind of interesting.
The SCV comes inside now. He sees no second gas. That could change it a little bit here, though.
Yeah, I think it will. I truly expect for Tyler to do the same build. He might change it based upon what he scouts.
Well, at this point in time, judging from all the stage games with Major, he knows this should be a command center, and it is. So how will Tyler react? Is Tyler going to go for an all-in? Is Tyler going to try to expand himself? We will see.
I think he's going to rush to the observer. But yeah, as you said, we will see in a moment here. Getting that chrono boost going on the core. Making a sentry at the moment on the production tab, as we see. And, when you make that sentry as your next unit, that oftentimes does mean that you're going to do a defensive build.
Yeah.
Sentry's better on the defense than the offense in small numbers. In big numbers, they become really, really good on the offense. It's kind of a funny little thing about them.
Here we go. The command center almost finished. A bunker on the way. This is, of course, a precautionary measure. And back here in Liquid Tyler's main, the robotics facility. Now, getting intel is good. The problem is, as we said in our previous game, he's basically going to scout his opponent and find out that he's just behind.
Yeah.
That's tough.
He is, though, sending a Zealot and his sentry to do a little bit of harassment.
You rarely see the sentry ever sent for harassment.
Yeah.
This is very risky. And the sentry a bit clunkier.
I don't actually mind it this time.
You think so?
Just because he didn't see any gas, so he's not going to think there's a Marauder out.
Right.
And that should be able to run away from a Marine. So
now this is the build Major is continuously doing here at the MLG. getting the tech lab. He's going to get stim, then combat shields. Probably get a 4th barracks here in a little bit. It's a very solid build coming from him. I'm interested in seeing what he's. Hold that thought.
Gate and a Robo. That's
what are your thoughts about this? Now that he's got 3 gates.
Oh my God, he's going 1 base Colossus.
He's gonna do a timing attack.
Yeah, this is an all-in build, no doubt about it. I'm really surprised. I have not seen a 1 base Colossus in PvT since like season 2 or 3 of the GSL. You know, it's been a while, and I wonder if this is something he came up with off the top of his head, or something that he has actually practiced out, because most of the time he knows all the branches, but I've never seen him do this, and Major has done a very similar build this game to the last game.
Well, you know, one thing to note is that Major does not mass Marauders. Generally speaking, he tends to go for mass Marines.
That's quite
true.
The
Colossus does sort of melt all of those units. And note this, Thermal Lance first.
Looks like he wants some micro quite a bit, Tasteless. And Major may be in major trouble, because on that production tab we do see 2 reactors going up. Those are going to be on both the barracks, and that means a bajillion Marines. A bajillion Marines, Tasteless. Wow. That's like even more than the 200 supply cap. I don't even know how that happens.
I can't even quantify that number.
It's going to be so Marine heavy, his army will be. And, wow, Tyler may be able to just break through with great Colossus Micro.
Yeah, we're going to have to see here. The rocks, the destructible rocks are under attack here. Right now, I think Major may be completely ill-equipped to deal with this.
Yeah.
Frankly.
Now,
we rarely see all-ins from Liquid Tyler. I almost feel like he's doing this to break out of the norm and essentially surprise his opponent. It looks like the first Colossus will get there exactly when Thermal Lance finishes. Maybe a Thermal Lance will finish a little bit before, but basically he wants to use this one Colossus here.
Yeah, he's not getting a second.
Yeah.
And here we go. Stim just about to finish. And he's going back to the bunker. I don't think he realizes there's a Colossus, Tasteless.
Yeah.
This could be very, 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 very bad.
Now, it's all about controlling this Colossus. The Zealot does take some damage here.
You know, this reminds me of the beta, Tasteless. This would happen to me every game. And I'd be like, oh, no, I can't hit it. But no range shields. He is making a starport right now, but this is very late to deal with that Colossi. Realistically, I'm trying to figure out how he can actually kill this. He does have stim. And there we go, Marauders! Targeting it down and almost kills the Colossus. If he had gotten that, Tasteless, I think that could have possibly ended the game, given him enough time to, Oh my God, those Marines came from behind. He randomly had them up there killing the rocks. I just got the sickest nerd chills.
I actually got caught off guard there. I was like, what just happened?
Yeah, no, I remember you had those up there, but here we go. Tyler, this is his all-in. This is his moment. He has to do something here.
It does not look like it's going to work out.
No, Stim is there.
As a mule lands behind.
Oh my God, I can't believe it. Those units from behind. Tyler.
Look at Major.
Yeah.
Tyler. Now, I think Liquid Tyler was probably about as surprised as you and I were when those Marines came down. Because I saw that Colossus die just there, and I'm like, what?
No, I think you're completely right, Tasteless. I think he just didn't step up in there. He didn't notice the rocks were gone. Why would you check up there? Why would there be 5 Marines up there? He just happened to remove those rocks so he could expand again, because the kid loves expanding.
Yeah.
This is the most terrible shape that you could ever be in. It's 50 supply to 74.
Sheesh.
Let me give you some numbers. 37 SCVs against 28 probes, plus he has mules. You know, he has 2 base against 1. He has +1 attack. He has stim. He has combat shields, concussive shells, starport. Tyler just has some gateway units.
Yeah, I mean, I understand Tyler staying in the game just in case, a miracle happens. Look at what happened with Major in Game 1, but frankly, this is going to be pretty tough here.
Yeah.
For Liquid Tyler. Oh, if not impossible. He could take the gold base with ease. He destroyed the rocks already. Protoss has no presence. As you can see, he's expanding there now. Not looking good here.
No, especially if Major just kind of sits back and plays a very passive macro game from here. That's going to make it basically impossible. What Tyler needs to have happen is he needs to engage Major and just slaughter an army, and then be able to get up into his production facilities. That is exactly what he needs to do. Look at that double expanding.
Look at Major. Okay, this is... I hate talking like this in you know, games because it ends the hype, but Major has won this. Frankly,
yeah,
I mean,
no,
the double expand is the nail in the coffin.
Yeah, Tyler right now, as long as he doesn't attack. If he attacked right now, there'd be a chance.
There's a chance, but
now Tyler, on the other hand, he is getting another Colossus. I think when this one finishes, he may go. Oh wait, is he going to expand? Is he going to try to turn this into a real game?
Ooh, okay.
Okay, so this is actually the worst thing that can happen. Now,
yeah.
Tyler is like, okay, you know what? I'm not just going to go all in. He should have enough units, but Major at this point has gone, as you said, tasteless for a double expansion. So going for one expansion for Tyler, he's going to be up to 2 base against 4 base. The situation is simply going to continue in Major's favor on the same exact course.
If Major sees that, he can even expand again.
You expand again, make a bunch of units.
To be frank, he could do anything he wants.
Yeah, no, he's...
You know, Liquid Tyler's... and it's not his fault. I mean, he's put himself in a difficult position, but there's really nothing he can do to turn this around. It's going to be up to Major to screw this up if he if Liquid Tyler's to win this.
See over at the goal base, Mule's being dropped, his economy, his income. Oh, let's look at the income tab, Tasteless.
Please.
Look
Okay, that exemplifies it right there.
He's got 3 times the income of Liquid Tyler. So basically he's mining 3 times as much right now. That's a lot of times.
Yeah, that's a lot of times.
And here's the thing. In TVP, when the Terran player is going for Bionic units, you know, Marines, Marauders, Medevacs, with some Vikings, they can have a bigger economy than Protoss in this game. It's absolutely true. They can have an additional base. But here's the thing. Tyler's base is very slow this game. And he has 2 additional bases. Plus mules, plus more SCVs. Like, everything is wrong here. It's not really a recoverable position. Now, Major has 2 starports, making a lot of Vikings, realizing Colossus is the only scary unit in Tyler's army. Tyler doesn't even have any forges.
Tyler's not even able to mine his Vespian gas efficiently.
He just doesn't have a lot of probes.
Having his minerals mined as well.
Marine just scouting around, trying to keep an eye on everything. Doesn't want Tyler to be able to come back in some strange way, such as randomly expanding somewhere. Right now, Tasteless, we see on that production tab, personal cloaking going up. So he's going to be going ghosts, getting some personal cloaking so that he can actually, you know, walk in there and snipe off some sentry energy. You know, it's a good move.
I feel bad for Tyler right now. I mean, maybe Major will make some kind of a gigantic blunder, but right now, you know, with the way Major's playing this out, the number of units he has, it would be like a dozen mistakes before Tyler can turn this around.
Well, Tyler, you know, I like some things he's doing here to try to come back. You know, he has 3 Colossi, and already Major going mass Viking, but he's switching into Templar tech. He's getting that Zealot charge because he realizes he's going to have to use up a lot of gas, and he's making a Templar Archives. So he's going to switch into Psystorm, and again, if he can crush an army and get on top of the barracks, then that is something that is recoverable. Terran is so weak when you have units in their base on their production facilities.
Yeah, I mean, it's basically how you always limit a Terran. You know, as you said, their units are so fragile. They pop out, and you know, you kill them right away. Terran units basically are only good in groups.
Yeah. They do not work out.
They're good in combination, essentially. By the way, a little note here while we're watching this game. I like when people do this kind of stuff. Landing the factory here, you know, even though Tyler's sort of well defended, you're never going to get this expansion up as quickly if there's basically this big structure here. Well, all right, it's time. He's maxed out.
By the way, Archons made instead of, I thought he was going for Psystorm, he went for Archons, and it's 126 supply to 199. Things looking not so good for Tyler at the moment. I think the game may end quite quickly here. We do have 7 ghosts out on the field for Major, so some sick EMPs. Here we go, 4 of them walking in. And he's going to...
I'm holding my breath right now.
And look at that. Everything is going to be slaughtered here. The Vikings taking out the Colossus.
GG.
Yeah, that's it, man. That does it. Wow. That was a really weird game. We normally don't see Tyler do all-ins. I wonder if he got frustrated.
You know, to be totally blunt, if I can just be real for a second, a little bit of an anticlimactic.
Don't be real. What are you doing?
Sorry, man, I got to be real. A little bit of an anticlimactic game. The intro was, the start of it was pretty interesting. The one Colossus, but let's face it, Terran has a bunker.